Looking at the next one, it asks what is the missing length. The shape we're working with is a parallelogram, so area of a parallelogram is equal to base times height. They tell us the area is 80, so 80 is going to be equal to the base, they tell us, is P, the height, they tell us, is 8. So we're solving for P, so divide both sides by 8, and P is going to be equal to 10 inches. And these are measurements for sides. This P is a measurement for a side, and the W is a measurement for a side, so it's not going to be squared. They could also just give you a description of the shape, and from that have you solve. So this one's a parallelogram. So if I'm drawing a picture of what we're working with, I know we're going to need a value for base, and we're going to need a value for height. So I'll go ahead and put places for those. And I'm going to write area is equal to base times height. And then we're going to fill in the pieces that they tell us. This is going to be 56. They tell us that the height is 8. And they want to know what is the length of the base. So if we put in our values, area is 56 is equal to the base, which we don't know, times the height, which is 8. So divide both sides by 8. And the base is going to be equal to 7 yards. Looking at another example where they give us information and want us to be able to solve for parts. This one we have a triangle. I'm going to draw a triangle. I'm also going to write down the formula. Area is equal to 1/2 times the base times the height. So I'm going to put my height right here. And we'll put the base right there. So it tells us that the whole thing is 4 square feet, and the base is going to be 2. What is the height equal to? So area is 4 is equal to 1/2 times our base, which is 2, times our height. So 4 is going to be equal to half of 2 is 1, so 1h. So our height is going to be equal to 4 feet. And then looking next, they have us doing some trapezoids. It asks us what is our largest area. So looking here, they want us to calculate the area for both of these and tell them which one's bigger. So if we look at the formula for the area for our trapezoid, area is equal to 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. This is our base 1, this one's our base 2, that one's our height. So area is going to be equal to 1/2 of 5 plus 15 times our height, which is 15. So area is going to be half of, if we use our order of operations, we do the 5 plus 15 first to give us 20 times 15. And then area is equal to half of 20 is going to be 10 times 15. And then 10 times 15 is going to be 150 inches squared. Looking at the next one, area is going to be equal to 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2 times height, where this one is our base 1, this one is our base 2, and that one is our height. So area is going to be equal to 1/2 of base 1 is 5 plus base 2 is 18 times our height is 12. So area is going to be equal to 1/2 times 23 times 12. Area is going to be equal to half of, I'm going to multiply those two first, 276. And half of 276 is going to be 138 inches squared. So which of those two trapezoids has the largest area? It's going to be that one right there. With these, they could also ask you to find the missing length. So we're going to write down our formula. We're working with a trapezoid. So area for a trapezoid is 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. This one's going to be our base 1, this one's going to be our base 2, and this one's going to be our height, and they tell us our area is 152 yards squared. So plug in 152 for the area is equal to 1/2 times base 1 is 4 plus base 2 they tell us is z times the height, which is 16. Can't combine those like terms, so I'm going to start dividing to move these two terms over to the other side because the way that they're attached there is by multiplication. So divide both sides by 16, and 152 divided by 16 is going to give us 9.5 is equal to 1/2 of 4 plus z. Divide both sides by 1/2, and that's going to leave us with 19 is equal to 4 plus z. Subtract 4 from both sides, and then z is going to be equal to 15 yards. And then looking at the last example that I've got for you, they could also give you trapezoids that are in word problems, and then from there you pull out the information and solve for certain values. So with this one they tell us we have a trapezoid, so I'm going to draw a picture of a trapezoid. And I know we're going to need a value for the base 1, base 2, and the height in order to be able to solve. So they tell us that the whole thing is 126 meters. So area is going to be equal to 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So the area is 126 is going to be equal to, they tell us that one base is going to be 11 meters. So I'm going to put that base right there. It doesn't matter where you put it, you'll solve for it with the right value. I'm just going to put mine right there. One base is 11 meters. The height is 14, and they want to know what is that length of the other base. So we're going to do 1/2 of base 1 we don't know, plus 11 times the height, which is 14. Divide both sides by 14. And then we end up with 9 is equal to 1/2 times base 1 plus 11. Divide both sides by 1/2. And we end up with 18 is equal to base 1 plus 11. Subtract 11 from both sides, and base 1 is going to be equal to 7 meters.